Preparing to live stream the meeting. Setting up your meeting for YouTube Live. Done redirecting your video. And now I'm looking, and it says one watching now. Okay. So now I'm going to refresh to find out where I am. Woo! Oh my gosh. Okay. So there's a silverfish walking across my computer, like right now. Okay. Morris. and then I don't even see myself. Okay. I need a paper towel. This meeting is being live streamed. I got it. I need a, come on. Here, just take this. Wow. What? Yes. It's somewhere in my room now. Just go. What is this? Hi, everybody. Welcome to the live stream. That is not the video that I set for the live stream, but we here. Okay, we are here. What I'm going to do on the channel itself is I'm going to go over and I'm going to let everybody know in the chat. As a matter of fact, it wouldn't even, let me see something, you guys. Let me go. I don't think it's going to let me, while we're live, to at least put the thumbnail so you can find us, right? We're going to see. Content.
That would be great.
As I'm just saying.
Less insects.
I was like, what? I mean, what's the meaning of a silverfish? You know what I'm saying?
We're going to find out.
I don't even think the thumbnail is like literally, I got to go over to Canva and steal it because I did everything on my phone. Hold on a second. Just the nerve, man. The nerve, just so much. I love y'all. Welcome to 50 Cent.
Ready? Silverfish medicine. Silverfish symbolizes a connection to ancient knowledge, health, and longevity. Silverfish has been around for more than 400 million years. They can go a year without eating, which can account for their ability to live up to 8 years, which is a long time for a bug. Their diet primarily consists of sugars, starches, and carbohydrates, which means that you need to watch how much of these items you're including in your own diet. If you're trying to lose weight, then silverfish warns to cut back on these types of foods. They hate the smell of citrus, so that means you should add more fruits to your diet. Silverfish is associated with filthy conditions, which you hate, I know that. So if you're seeing silverfish, the message could be that it's time to do some spring cleaning. You may also need to pay better attention to your personal hygiene. If you've been putting off going to the dentist or getting a haircut, make the appointment soon. Silverfish can run very fast and can jump up to 2 feet. Oh my goodness.
It jumped too. It freaking jumped.
This means that it's a good time to start a new exercise program to go along with your dietary changes. And that is from Llewellyn's Little Book of Spirit Animals.
But why? Why is Spirit getting all up in my case today about everything?
I want to know why silverfish is in here. I'm like,
I had my window open for a little bit too, okay? Because my space is never so like, girl, I can't stand roaches or something like that. So, but that was a spirit message just for me. Seriously, going across my computer like that? Are you kidding me?
You said spring, and it was like, who called?
I'm trying. I'm waiting for this downloads. It should be downloaded. Where is it? Oh my goodness. I'm trying, you guys. I'm trying. And have you seen anybody pop up yet? Do you even, or do you have it on another screen?
No, I don't. I can try. Hold on. Give me a
Why did
sec.
it not download? I want to download it. Yes, download, people. What is this? Oh my goodness. I'm working on it. I am working on it.
It's giving us a hard time.
Man, and we couldn't have did this any other way. Okay. We couldn't have done it any other way. Because I wouldn't have seen it.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, I at least have the thumbnail up now. And it has the active live.
Okay.
So now I'm gonna go back to it's just so funny. What? I'm gonna go back and put the link to this video in the community tab and in the other one, in the other video, telling them to meet us here. I can't even just, and I'm trying to see if it has anywhere. There's,
Okay. 3 watching.
yay, welcome you guys. I'm glad that you were able to make it. Sorry about the technical difficulties. I am letting people know in the community tab as well.
Yeah, I've got it up on my laptop and we're a bit delayed, but that's cool.
Yeah, I have it up on the laptop too, so I can see the comments.
Okay.
And anyway,
we've had a time already.
when y'all run it back, y'all listen to everything that happened from the moment that we started this live, okay? Because Spirit has been whipping my butt all day, just getting all the way up in my case. And it's so funny because I went and made a peanut butter sandwich real quick, okay? With bread that I don't usually eat, but you know, that's what was available. And as soon as I start this live, the silverfish runs across right when I'm done eating this peanut butter sandwich. Okay. I asked my guides about 2-3 weeks ago, help me get back to my plant-based diet, help me avoid sweets and things that I shouldn't be eating. And they have shown up and showed all the way out. Okay. I'm over it. I'm over. Hey, babe. Shams is on. Mom's on.
See that.
And I just hope everybody else finds their way.
Mm.
This is a special energy update.
Exactly.
We've got Josie Jackson and Shashu Dawkins here in the house. Reporting live from, the United States and other places.
Exactly. In Canada, Toronto, Canada, where it is suspiciously spring.
Hey,
Hi.
oh
I wanted to give them a backstory on why we came up with this, because I reached out to you just randomly, I thought, but I was like, what is really going on? And I think there was a voice message I left, or a few of them, because on Instagram it doesn't let you go past a certain amount of time, because I was like, okay, I'm noticing this, am I crazy? And you were like, no, girl, Me too. I'm seeing it too. I'm like, thank goodness. I said, we should update people because no one's talking about it
Yep.
at all. I'm not seeing it. And I'm bringing it up in my practice. And people are like, yeah, I see it too. Just in the last couple of days since we coordinated this. And they've been like, I saw that too. I taught a Reiki class yesterday and they're like, yeah. I'm like, okay. Thank you.
Oh my God. Yeah, I responded as I should. I responded, okay, because I've been practicing my human design strategy. Skipped over human design and got into gene keys and had to pull it back. I am all the way in trouble with my higher self, you guys, because I promise I feel like I'm in school suspension.
I was thinking I was just about to go and get a reading done for me.
Oh, I've been wanting one. I'm like, somebody help me, please, because at this point, a lot of my close family and friends think that I am losing my mind.
Right.
They are concerned about me because of the level of sensitivity I am experiencing.
So that's one of the other points, because it with the timeline jump, which was, I think, the first thing I talked to you about, I brought up, is these superpowers that are coming online that no one else is hip to, and it doesn't look like a Marvel movie at all. We're supposed to, we romanticize these things, especially when we're like, okay, we're upgrading. I'm gonna be able to see through walls or whatever. And it's not sexy like that. You just look nuts to your family.
You know what? Before we get into it, I'm going to go ahead and bring in some energy and get it flowing. So what I want everybody to do, and I always do this, so if you're catching a replay, hopefully you ran it all the way back to the beginning, because every little bit of this is jam-packed with codes and all kinds of things, okay? Right. But for the physical representation, I am going to take a moment and I want you to do this with me. I want you to inhale through your nose and poke your stomach out, fill your lungs up, and then I want you to exhale through your mouth and just relax your jaw. And I want you to do that 3 times with me so that we can ground and connect in the now. It doesn't matter when you watch this video, okay? So I'm gonna take these 3 breaths. Now that we're all present and we're all here, I call in all forms of love and light into this beautiful event. I ask my spirit guides, Shashu's spirit guides, and everybody else's spirit guides to be present in the now for our highest good. Working with the divine in the now, I ask for clear, concise messages to flow through me easily, seamlessly, in a way that is understood by the collective. I am grounded to 5th dimensional Terra in the now. I invite the highest divine light into my vessel and my aura in the now for my highest good. Yep, we here.
So it is. Thank you for that.
So I think the first thing we need to address is the most potent thing that we're battling with right now. And it's that energy that seems very new to people, and it came out of nowhere.
It did. It truly did. It came, I felt it building up a week and a half ago, but last week. And then early this week when I messaged you, it was like, oh, we're here. We're in it. Oh, it's now. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It felt like we walked through a veil, you know?
Yep.
It was just, and there were some folks who suddenly I could see as background people, or had, you know, still doing the same robotic matrixy things, and that felt really strange. You know, it's like there was a glass wall or room put up, and I'm watching the players over there, and out
Mhm.
here there's actual air and things that are tangible, and they're still going about things and they don't know what's really going on. Do you know what I mean? It felt,
Yep.
I felt removed from, not higher than, not like I was, you know, I could observe it, but not from higher. Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think it felt, you know, there was a vibration, there was a nausea, there was an anxiety, there was an overwhelming feeling suddenly, like something new is here. And then it settled and it felt like brand new. And so that's when I reached out. You see that? You feel that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Forgive me, I'm trying to help somebody.
Okay.
I know we're going to lose a lot of people because of how Zoom created a whole nother video.
Yeah.
And that's okay. They're just going to have to catch the replay.
Yeah.
But let me give y'all my classic way that I be explaining stuff. Let me give y'all the rundown on this energy, and we're gonna go through this whole, are you feeling this? Is this what it looks like?
Yeah.
People that you know and love, okay? Because you're used to being out in public, feeling other people's energies and saying, I would not like any of that. Let me avoid that. You're
Right.
used to doing this with strangers. Okay. You're used to that feeling happening with strangers, or in events to where you just know somebody has some icky energy on them.
Mhm.
But what's new about this is that this energy is showing up in people. This energy is showing up in people that are not doing anything wrong to you.
Yeah.
They're not in a bad mood, none of that.
No.
But everything in your being, all of your cells and all of your energy is saying, stay away from them. Right?
So,
And
yeah, go ahead. I'm going to write it down and then I'll bring it up.
and there's these periods of time, which is so crazy with that same person, everything's okay and the energy's not there. And then there's these pockets of time with that same person, again, nothing's going on, right? Physically or consciously, but there's something about that person's energy, it's repelling you, literally. And
Yeah.
it's repelling you so strongly that it literally feels like it's a danger. Like, you got to get away. You got to get away. There's this high anxiety feeling. This has happened with me with a couple of people lately that I feel like I need to avoid in certain ways at certain times. Some people right now, I can't even talk to them, but you can't ask me why or what they didn't do anything.
Right.
But my spirit is telling me, nope,
Not now.
engage with that person. Do you see? And that can create some problems.
Right. Those people can feel it's suddenly like, oh, I need you, you know, and they're really reaching their tentacles out, their feelers
Mhm.
out. They can tell
Mhm.
you put up your boundaries,
Yep.
you know. When I pull those cords back into my navel from whoever's siphoning, then I suddenly get a text, everything good, everything's great. What you sensed is boundaries. You know, right?
Mm.
What I noticed after I texted you, I said to my husband, I said, everyone's had it and they're tired. Everyone's had it, right? He tells me of
Mhm.
a story of a lady who the higher ups invited everyone in first thing in the morning and let them know We're here for you if you need mental health or a wellness day. We now have resources. We're here for you. We're here for you. A lady lost her shit, screamed, ripped her hair out, flipped some desks, and they said on a Thursday morning, everyone, wellness weekend. We'll check back on Monday. I had another client the next day. She came, her son normally is chipper. He wasn't feeling too great. I said, what's going on? I could sense his energy was off already when he came in. And his teacher had a nervous breakdown in front of the students. Started crying. Everyone was upset and scared. He's 11. It's going around. We're seeing it, right? And it's not a random act here and there. People have, I think we're reflecting Mother Earth. There's tremors, there's all these things, there's earthquakes. We're having the earthquakes too. And some of us aren't tuned into the energy. So we're like, what was that? What just happened? Right? And the rest of us are like, oh, something changed. You know, and I don't know about you, my clairaudience was like, it's go time, be available. Each day I was at the salon for 12 hours because people needed energy, my generator energy, right? And I somehow was able to do it on 7 hours sleep and go back.
that generator team, generators.
and sacral generator. And so I knew to make sure the foods I was having were raw, make sure it's high nutrient dense, things I can have, make sure it's all the colors of the rainbow, because you cannot have sugar, you cannot have gluten, because those don't work for you and your system right now. They're going to gum up the tank. That's literally what I heard. I'm like, okay, you know, it's go time. But, you know, January was a time of my grandmother's funeral and seeing my father for the first time in 25 years. So it was uplifting, but took a while to ground into my body, new truths, new stories. So I found myself sleeping a lot. And then when I say doing nothing, I mean 1 foot up on this chair, out 3 days. You know, I got up to cook, got up to, you know, do my thing. But if you had a hair question or a Reiki question, I was not available because my brain was just like, you know what, rest up because you're going to need some energy soon, you know?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is not the time to take stuff personal.
No.
And it's very, like, from a cognitive perspective, from a conscious perspective, anytime you feel an energy and the first thing you're thinking is, why am I feeling this? Because nobody did anything to me. Tap into your higher self and start seeing every interaction and everything as energy. In that moment is very important that you say, source, please help me navigate this.
Yes.
Stop everything you're doing and really tap into what the heck's going on with you. Politely ask anybody that you need to ask to, you know, leave the room or go somewhere where you can be by yourself. And I call it handling your energy, but it's really just grounding and getting in tune with what's actively happening with you. That's your tool for when you feel that feeling and your mind cannot even understand why it's happening because it seems like it's for no reason.
But you know, it's not yours. Like there's what I have to say, before COVID, you know, those things many things felt personal. I think the spiritual development and the work we've done, shadow work and looking inwards, because we had that opportunity with COVID, is now like, it's an instant. That's not yours. Why don't you go ground and integrate and ask for a little, you know, it's instant now. Whereas I'd say a couple of years ago, what did they mean by that? And back in the text to see where you went wrong, and you know, going over the day, did I do it wrong? It's like I did the best I could with what I was given. I know that with the $2 hair you brought, I made it look human. All right, so I'm gonna go have a rest. You know what I mean? That's what I've noticed in the last 6 months, with my new awareness of things that Shasha, you could use some breaks, be used to taking breaks, schedule breaks. So,
Mm-hmm.
and have everyone know what that looks like instead of this is new. You never take break. Now you're not going to catch me out there like that anymore. Me saying no is saying yes to myself, right? And that was a huge boundary that had to come up. But I'm sorry to get off track there, but it's literally like what's coming up in the last week. Like my printer, I taught a Reiki class yesterday with 4 amazing students. And that printer cussed me out the day before. 9 a.m. You can't email me this much. I was like, I'm sorry, I don't know how to put everything on one folder. I'm sorry. And my printer just broke down. My bad.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I'll have it done in half an hour. I said, you can take till 8 p.m. I'm around. It's cool. What do you need? Do you need a coffee? I was like, but I knew, yes, I could have learned how to put everything in one folder. I don't know yet from my phone. I will learn. But woo, that man said, hey, and normally he's so sweet. Ooh. And it was the same like 3 days where I've heard of breakdowns, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think people have just had it and they don't know what this is, And
Mm-hmm.
so I think coming out of my broom closet, the tools were, you need sage, you need this, you need this, you need this, you know what I mean? And yeah, those things help. Essential oils help, of course. But if you have a kit, a little makeup bag this big, you can survive with a peace out. I'll be out. I'll be back. I'm going to take a walk. I'm going to look for a bird. And I'm going to, you know what I mean? Just knowing those things are there can help. But I think many are not in practice and being forced to be in practice now.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think I said that. I don't even know what I said on the last energy check-in that I did. But one thing that I've been saying lately is life is all inclusive. That includes death. Okay. Yep. So we're getting into the spiritual bypassing.
Thank you.
This whole situation we're dealing with right now is going to mirror to you what you haven't been doing and what you've been avoiding. So if you've been all love and light and just dealing with higher energies, and you've been like not even having the awareness of what's actually happening in the 3D matrix that's crumbling, right? It's one thing to not get into it, watching the news and stuff, but it's another thing to have an awareness at least.
Yeah.
Having an awareness is still necessary. So then you've got the light workers over here, and then you've got the truthers over there, and there's these 2 different energies. You're not an activist. You're not a white hat infiltrating the system, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's great. That's not how you're choosing to express your divinity. But guess what? Every one of those souls has their path, and they are doing it. Yeah. And we're all one. Yeah. All of it matters. So guess what? What those truthers have been telling you about the spiritual war that we're in is not something that you can just say, oh, well, that's not on my timeline. Who fooled you?
This was happening last year this time. I forget when it was. It might be this last year this time in Toronto. I'm downtown. Trucker convoys coming. Police are blockaded. I somehow got past and said, I need to do Black women's hair. Don't play with me, sir. Officer. I still went to work. They got past, and it was tense. You heard helicopters, and that's a lot for Canada. Helicopters honking, people looking scared, like these are terrorists. I'm like, that's a Canadian flag. I thought that meant peace. Like, what's happening? But then my spiritual friend is on the phone going, I choose to only see the dance party that's happening at Queen's Park. I'm like, okay, cool. But there's some really tense looking, militant looking folks out here with construction things in their hand, looking like they're going to bash some things up. So, you know, I'm like, I hear you choosing to shoot a rainbow out of your vagina today. That's great. But this is really going down. And I'm here being my generator self and my light warrior self going, I'm going to make sure this space, and I'm going to listen and go home when it's time. You know what I mean? I'm not going to feed into necessarily all the fear, but I'm not going to act like this isn't happening.
That part. Navigation, because we all know that the magnetosphere is being peeled back. So a compass, like a physical compass, like just imagine, okay, if the magnetic field of the planet is moving all over the place and all willy wonky, don't think for a second that your compass within you is not going to be moving all over the place and willy wonky. Okay, so you've got to navigate through all realities, whether you are participating in them or not. You've got to be who you are in the midst of all of the realities, because we are now in a fluid, multi-dimensional space to where you're here, then you're there, then you're there in any given moment, because that is your ability. You're able to do that. Okay.
And I'm seeing also multiple tower moments. If that's your frequency, that's your intention. We can simplify it down to, I intend for this coffee to make me feel awake. And then you're tired because you didn't get enough sleep anyway. Instead of, I intend for this coffee to just make me feel nice. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter what reality is coming. There's more, because we're seeing them all at the same time. You're going to experience it slightly differently, but the same outcome. It's like when you keep doing the tarot and you ask the same question and it just
that part,
same picture. You know, I'm seeing multiple tower moments. And I saw Leo King talking about, you know, what was going down with you in 2014 and 2015. You know, when you were like, that's it, I'm done talking, I'm doing this thing. And if you didn't, there's some tower moments happening right now.
Yep. And it does, in my personal life, I am seeing themes from that period of time that you just mentioned. I am seeing similar things.
Yeah. It's shit or get off the pot.
Yes.
Are you done talking? Are you? I think that's around the time I stopped drinking to hide my light, because I was like apologizing for my light to be around the other moms, and I was like, "This ain't. How come I got to drink to be around you?"
That part.
And I was constantly hiding, and my native guides were coming in, going, "Sit up straight. Stop hiding. Why are you whispering?" I'm like, oh, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that stuff's coming up again. Like, how am I coping now?
Yeah.
How am I dealing now? Am I standing in my power now? And you're like, can't escape.
I done got to the point to where I'm reaching. You see what I mean? I am not above, beside, below. Don't place me nowhere. Don't place anybody anywhere, okay? Because when we need help, we need it. Yeah. Period. We all have a tendency when it gets too intense to start reaching. Okay. And me, myself, have had a hard time not depending on something physical right now to help me cope with what I'm dealing with. And as much as I want to be disciplined, as much as I want to be a clear and clean and all this and that, it's like as soon as I decided I wanted to go back toward, healing and cleansing and all this and that, that's when all hell broke loose. And I'm like, nope, let me go get this wine. I'm gonna have a glass of wine today. I don't
Yes,
care.
of course. But
Because
you're going to process that wine differently than you did in 2014 and 2015. It might
exactly.
be a quicker headache. It might be quicker diarrhea. It might be quicker this. Who knows? But it looks different now. And I have to say, we did a detox for 12 days. So it cleansed the liver, the bowel, the intestine.
Mhm.
No sugar, nothing ferments, no wheat, no flour. I was like, if I see lentils and rice again, I swear to God, you know, I don't want to see lentil chips. I don't want to see none of it, right? Because we've been vegan. So we were already restrictive, but Christmas was sugars and deep fried and so many things. And
Mhm.
so after the detox, I mean, before the detox was done, I was like, I'm gonna put a Krispy Kreme on pizza, okay? I'm gonna put
That's
barbecue
what I was
sauce.
talking about. And you guys, let
And
yourself
yeah,
have those moments. It's very
dude,
important because it doesn't mean that you're gonna be eating that way
exactly.
the whole time.
Yeah,
Um, that's the easiest way to be disciplined is when you check in with yourself and you want something long enough, there's a reason why.
yeah, go get it. Go get it. Yeah,
And be done with it and then get back to what you were doing.
exactly.
Please try not to take yourself or anybody else for that matter seriously right now.
Mm, yeah.
Okay.
It feels almost like Mercury retrograde when, you could joke with that person before it went retrograde. And right now they're crying at the same joke. And you're like, but we,
Exactly.
so now I'm not taking it personal when they don't get it. It's just like, okay, everyone's raw right now, you know?
It
Yeah,
feels raw. It
yeah,
literally feels like you're wearing your skin backwards.
yeah, yes, that's it. Yeah, that's a great description. Because I'm a feeler person, and then the words come,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? So every time someone can say it like I'm seeing it, yeah, thank you for that.
Mhm. You had mentioned AI. You want to touch on the AI situation?
Yeah. Can I? Because in my mind, say this is a phone, I was seeing AI as something it's hard, it's plastic, it's got glass, something. I can unplug it or take the battery out. AI.
Mhm.
It's not AI anymore. Then you see your algorithms. You get off of Google, you get somewhere else. There's still algorithms.
Yeah.
You turn off your mic, they know, right? Whoever they
Mhm.
is. Now I'm seeing or feeling, I should say, I feel and then see. So, when you're coming across a human being that doesn't feel right, and not because it's just a different radio frequency, radio
Yeah.
on dial. That's it. That was profound before this last timeline jump. Now I'm seeing, and you can feel a pet, an animal. There's an oversoul to that.
Mhm.
Now I'm seeing organic matter surrounding nano something, tech, AI, something. It feels weird in the stomach. Like the solar plexus does this thing.
Ooh.
And then right around here, it goes, I, like it does this for me to go, to be able to focus, It's not like my
Mhm.
sight does that, but the pain or the pressure, that's how I feel. Intense energy. So it goes from eye to eye, and then I go, it's like my energy field is focusing on like, what is that? This is new. It feels alien. We
Yeah.
know there's extraterrestrials. I wouldn't call them aliens. This thing is around
Mhm.
in objects, in things that we think are just maybe our food molding and becoming
Yeah.
something else. No, there's something else, and I'm feeling it, and it's around. And I know I probably sound crazy, but my outer vision is so clear that it feels like it's tomorrow that it's on TV. Like it's literally, how you're like, okay, um, they're gonna shoot down a UFO and get and talk about it on the news. Well, they just found another one last night in Canada, two of them, and then you guys had the balloon. It's gonna be mainstream now. That's how my outer vision goes. You're like, is it going to be tomorrow or 2 weeks from now? You know? But
Yeah.
I feel like something's coming up with AI. We're going to have to integrate with it. I think what's happening for me is there's a realization that it's always been here. None of this AI deep fake stuff, like Kendrick Lamar's video where he switched to OJ and Nipsey Hussle and Will Smith and all in the same shot. And that everyone was like, whoa, and it is really cool. How much of that have we been watching?
That part.
You know what I mean? How many people were set up to be canceled because some deep fake happened? How much, like, it's all kind of tying in. You know how there was that one trend on social media, suddenly everyone went on that app, forget the name of it, because I was like, this don't look right. I don't want 10 fingers on one hand. My hands don't look like ginger root. Nope. No ma'am. No ma'am. I'm supposed to have pores. Nope. And it just felt wrong. You know how you're a sacred person? It goes, nope. You know what I mean? It just tells you absolutely not. And I saw people who are spiritual influencers, because that was another downfall for me. Spiritual influencers, they give you all their portraits of them with their ginger root hands. Like, as a woodland elf. And then there's a whole long 4 paragraphs about how you shouldn't do it. What the fuck did you do it for? That's none of my business. You know what? That's none of my business. And I was like, I'm good. I'm really good with people being disappointed enough to not see me in makeup. You know what I mean? I'm like, who cares? But that's what I'm seeing, AI showing up. And I feel like it's about to be revealed that it's been around us for so long that we missed it.
Of course.
And oh my God, the realization, oh my God, it's everywhere. That's what I woke up to suddenly this week. And I was like, Josie?
And unfortunately, a lot of these things are not understood. You know, not everybody's a rocket science. Not everybody hangs out in the quantum.
Right.
So, but one thing that a lot of people do know is that the government, the powers that be, the physical ones, what they do is they will take something and they will make it to where they can control the narrative, and then they'll release it. So a lot of times when the collective finds out about something, that it's not new.
Yeah.
It's been happening. Okay. So I totally get you about the AI being in things that you wouldn't think about them being in. You know, when we think about AI, we think about robots, electronics, and things like that, and software. We're not thinking about that tree, that piece of bread, that glass of water.
Yeah.
Okay.
What if some of our synchronicities have been put there by AI?
Oh, honey, yes.
That's messing with me.
There is a whole other awakening.
Right?
This is why you have to know thyself, okay? Because don't think for a second that these energies, people, places, entities, things did not know that we were going to come and awaken, and generations of us were going to be born and we're going to be here, okay? So there is a full-fledged awakening happening.
Yeah.
That is not spiritual, that's not from source. It is literally programmed. This is why you're seeing angel numbers as prices now. Everything used to be $199, $99, $599. That was the norm. Now you're seeing $333, $444 as prices, $1111. Come on.
Yeah, it literally is showing up as a synthetic white rabbit in the Matrix.
Yes.
White rabbit has got a cigarette and he's like, you going, you coming? And you're like, that ain't the white rabbit I saw. You know what I mean? There's another awakening. And what's going to happen with those folks when they wake up and go, oh, my awakening wasn't even really legit. You know what I mean? Not to compare, but like there's major awakening happening. We were blessed to be able to wake up slowly. There's another train. Don't worry about it. Take a break. You know what I mean? There's no more cars. There's no more trains. The train Stop. It's done. It's gone.
You know what's so funny? The joke's on them, because even with the artificial awakening that is very present, all roads lead to source, because that's where we came from.
True.
You see,
we're here to experience and report back.
Some people have to go through that. Oh man.
Yeah.
In order to make the correction.
Yeah.
It's all necessary.
I was telling someone who's newly awakened and gets all their news from TikTok, bless her heart, love her, but I'm like, well, so I have to turn into the Reiki master and be like, how does that make you feel? Do you believe hybrid children are coming through the vaccine? Okay, are you sure about that? Because I haven't seen any. You got some pretty good health care here. Are you sure? I think I've seen them by now. My niece seems fine, you know? Bring it back down. And
man,
it's not like, it's just so not like before. I think that's my point. It's just so not like before, where it was like you'd find your folks, your people, you know, you're where you are, I'm where we're in the same time zone, but we found each other and we vibe, right? So this is what I was talking about. Newly awakened people seem to always look outside and go, but they're not doing their job. What are they doing? Are they meditating? How come I have to do it? And you're like, well, how about you worry about yourself? You know what I mean? Right? So we're getting a whole new wave of those. You know, and they're not, what are you doing? You know?
Yeah, because we got to go through all of that.
Yeah.
You know, because we've been there. The thing is, it looks different with the newly awakened because of the fact that they are highly accelerated.
Yes.
So when you watch it, like there's a normal rate of a flip book to where you can see and understand that, oh, the guy is running. This is a cool flip book. But then what their awakening looks like is a whole scene of activity that's flipping way faster than it should. And you're like, are you sure? Are you okay?
Yeah. Like spinning tops, and you and I are here to stop, slow it down, and say you should probably eat. You've got a lot of information in there. You want to integrate that? Because we used to get little bits and chunks. Right? And with these solar flares and X flares and M flares, they're getting major Niagara Falls in their tiny little crown chakra. You know, my head. Oh, yeah.
And you moved right into the next thing, because we're naturally hitting all of the topics. We wanted to talk about these real-time downloads.
Yeah.
There is no time to integrate anything anymore. It is happening in real time. Okay.
I hope you've been practicing integrating. I hope that's your practice. That's what it is. It's easier to integrate because you've been practicing for so long. You used to remember back in the good old days when it was the 8/8 portal?
Yeah.
You feel that 8/8? In November, we were like, since the 8/8. And now daily, all day, all night.
Yep.
And you know, you haven't been integrating properly, or you got things to let out of your body, because a lot of times the head pressure is you're storing it. You're not spreading what's coming in, right? You're just holding on to it, right? And so I'll wake up in the morning and feel like something's pressing right here. And I'm like, oh, okay, can't sleep in anymore. All right, let me have some water, because it's hot. It's hot energy, right? And everyone's got the same issues, but they're, you know, we had the class. I attuned the students to level 2. They were like, 1 second. Like, oh yeah, you just got tuned to a new frequency in spirit. Hi, should I put the kettle on? Let's talk. You know, like they all 4 of them were like, you too. And I'm here going, girl, sir, we've been doing this for a minute. You know, not to be facetious, but more like, yeah, welcome. It'll switch. Ask your higher self to give you a minute. Ask yourself to give you a minute. You know,
That
ask
part.
for relief. You know, ask if they can take some of this off. I know you guys have been busy getting this together for us, but we still got to go to work. You know what I mean?
Part.
Yeah.
Still don't understand how people can have a 9 to 5.
I don't know. No.
I don't even know.
No.
You should see me sometimes. I love that. I remember telling y'all about this in my last energy update, how I had to handle the energy at my kid's school because I volunteer there sometimes. And just to see it all around you and not be able to say one word. Okay. First of all, y'all know the rules of the matrix. You know, we don't do religion in the schools, blah, blah, blah. Right. So it's this long drawn out side eye when you got 20 million students coming and asking for ibuprofen, Tylenol. I know why their head hurts. I could probably take the headache away, but no. Exactly. I can't do anything because of their path and their time of their awakening. So I just have to kind of go with the flow. But when I saw opening, I took it.
Yeah, that's good because they've already been activated by your presence.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, you know, I can ask about these toothaches and headaches. Let's see if I can verify this with Josie, but is it the towers?
The 5G towers?
Yeah, for some of the kids, it's a lot, right?
Yeah.
Like as soon as they walk in, headaches, nausea. As soon as they go into the courtyard, no headaches, nausea, you know? Quite interesting. As soon as they touch some actual earth, they're fine.
Yeah.
Like my daughter's high school, soon as she's like, oh, it's fine. I'm relieved. I'm at lunch. I'm eating outside in the courtyard. She doesn't care what time of year it is. She needs to connect with the planet. But she goes to a school of the arts, so they can take a walk. It's not a big deal. Just express yourself, be creative, do your thing, you know? She's blessed that way. But man, she's got friends who can't deal right now. You know, and that's high school students.
Those towers, the EMFs, all of that stuff. What people don't realize is that these radio frequencies and these microwave frequencies, they're not just there. It's not just one steady wave going out at one intensity all the time. It's being controlled. Yeah. There are certain times where we get blasted. Yeah. I mean, somebody's controlling all of this. Yeah. Even the electronics in your house, depending on what you got going on, there will be times that your radio or phone or TV or whatever, somebody somewhere can make that thing emit more EMFs than what the paperwork or research or what's stated on the actual item says.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And we've gotten to the point where we can't check the references that we used to look at what last year or the year before, the Schumann resonance, this or whatever. Like I'm feeling it as it's coming in, and we haven't seen it on the chart yet, you know?
Yeah, they playing around with these charts. They are playing around. So we really got to go off of how you feel. You got to, know better and do better. Yeah. The sun is popping off. That is happening. The sun, look, I'm like Chicken Little, except for I'm saying, look, the sun's finna explode. So everybody just stay calm.
I think someone said that the other day, and Suspicious Observers was like, a chunk did not fly off the sun, guys. But the fact that he had to do a report to say that is sad. But we're at that point. People are sending me TikToks of illustrated angels coming out of the sea and into the sun, and it's happening in the Middle East a lot. And I'm like this, angels don't look like that. All right. Angels are a lot of eyeballs, okay, and some rings and some wings, they're to shock you.
I haven't seen that one.
Freeze, and they're like, can you believe this, I'm like, be open, but check and see how you feel about this, Say it again.
I said that part. And again, your eyes your third eye,
Yeah.
your crown, your filter, the way that energy looks to you, just like one psychic's clairvoyance is not going to look like another psychic's clairvoyance,
So
right?
true.
Two people they literally could be sitting next to each other looking at something. One person could see an orb, a blue, perfectly round spherical orb, but the other person may see a completely different color and it may be shaped like a star.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you see?
Yeah. And
And
something happened there. I would say what, December time, it was like, okay, what feels right to me? I'm
yeah,
not looking for synchronicities in social media. Okay. I connect with who I connect with, but first I have to connect with me and my source first.
mm-hmm.
And there was a new comfort that had to come. I had to work through a comfort in the unknowing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just know that you don't know. Okay. And then things started to flow better instead of my fingernails in the dashboard. Like, what if, trying to plan out the trip or plan out the fun or life, period. The old manifestation techniques, quote unquote, just aren't working. They don't apply anymore.
No. And it's because it's rapid. And if there's anybody out there right now that thinks that you're still applying time to manifestation, you're probably just driving yourself nuts. Everything now, everything is in the now.
Yeah, they're going in circles and they're just like, why is this working? Because that's time. It's a spiral. Yeah, what is time? We were saying that too. What is sleep? You sleep 2 hours, then 11 hours. What is sleep?
Exactly. Let's talk about these abilities.
Okay.
Look in the chat.
Yes.
Has anybody, experienced any new abilities coming online? Or stronger ones that you've already had, or the ones that you've already had are operating differently?
I want to see this. Let me grab it. So this is the fun part. It's good to know you're not alone.
This is going to help the viewers that catch the replay, and even if you're watching a replay, comment about any abilities you got going on, because people need to know that they're not alone, and these very physical representations of energy are happening to you, around you. You see, it's a real tangible thing. You see?
Yeah.
Oh, Kiki's in the house. She said yes.
Yeah.
She said yes.
100%. Yeah. It's you didn't know you were clairvoyant, and then suddenly you're like, oh, so that's the sight. Like maybe there was a film over your third eye. Now it's clear. It's blaring. It needs an extra lens for the sunglasses,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's getting real. I get that, sky energy. It's getting really real. Yeah.
She said her and her daughter, Adila's intuition is heightened.
I totally
get it. We got some good stuff coming up in this chat.
Yeah, I have to say, lots of the senses, not just the clairvoyance. The clairaudience is clearer. Oh, there's a voice here. There's a sound here.
Yeah.
Oh, and you're able to check more, or confirm more. You know how we used to use what we used to use, even last week. And when I say used to, I'm not talking about, I've been on something different. I'm talking about you used to use your pendulum. Now you don't need it as much. You're literally like, got it. Sense of smell. Yeah, for sure, Sarah. Sense of smell, taste, and those are your clairs too.
Yes.
right?
It's connected. It's an extension now. Instead
Mhm.
of thinking that your 5 physical senses are separate from your spiritual senses, now it's streamlined all together.
For sure. For sure. We are a Marvel movie, for sure. Literally, it's at this point because, you know, you how are we tuning in so fast to know we don't want to eat there?
Yeah,
We know there's no love in the food. Next. You know what I mean?
that part.
Intuition kicks in with the rest.
And what happens with these abilities and this newfound sensitivity is that you could be chugging along mentally doing something that you normally do and get there and say, hold up, nope, turn around. We got to go here. We got to go there. We can't do this. And again, a person that is not having your experience, that can be frustrating for them.
For sure. Because what I'm seeing a lot of, surrounded by, what I sense in my friends and family that haven't felt this, are that they're still grieving the old. Right? Because this pandemic has made us full of grief and rage. They're sisters, right?
Yeah.
And we're not talking about that. So many people are like, shoulda, woulda, coulda been to that concert, or they go to this concert, they finally got the tickets, or the show is finally back on after 3-4 years. It's not the same. The people aren't as good looking, or whatever it is you were so into doesn't feel the same. So those people are checking, they're experiencing the same thing as us, but they're seeing it differently. They're literally like, is that what that was? I paid all that money for that concert. He doesn't dance anymore. You know what I mean? Your favorite guy doesn't sing the same way, and the crowd feels different. So it's you. Yeah.
And it's hard not to be afraid when you feel like a train is literally running through you. It's hard not to have high anxiety and feel this fear and this aversion. You see, that's why at this point, it's no longer, hey, connect with your guide. Hey, make sure you interact with your spiritual team on a daily basis. We are past talking. Now you're being brought to your knees.
Yeah.
It's like connect with your spiritual team or just live in hell. That's it. You know what I mean? Like you have to act.
When you're integrated with your higher self, you know what I mean? Whereas before it'd be like, oh, let me see if they'll integrate with me, please. No, please, hey. That was rough. Like Adila said about their dreams. Yeah, you don't usually remember them. And a lot of people are dreaming about large bodies of water. One of my students said that yesterday. She had a week of water.
Wow.
There was a tsunami. There was a flood. I said, there's some energy coming in.
So tsunami is a really big symbol that is going around. I had a tsunami dream recently. So that's a really huge theme. Really huge.
Huge. I think we saw that come up a few years ago when so many QHHT people had the same thing coming up saying the wave is coming, I think most of us are gonna a lot of us will wake up and be like, I've been having these water dreams and these waves. We're all gonna have it at the same time. Uh-oh.
I was like, wait, it's happening. This right here. So my husband will know I'm not crazy. It wasn't until we started talking about this water. It started right here in my stomach, like my solar plexus started moving like that, and it's just coming up, and it's just shaking side to side. And I'm like, what? Hold up. You see what I mean? And we're engaged right now. There's nothing else going on. And this happened within me. And for one moment, I was concerned. And then I was like, no, this should be happening. So think about what you're doing and saying right now. Think about what you're listening to. You are responding. Your physical vessel and the energy within you is responding to whatever you're talking about. Get a grip, shake it out.
Yeah. Let it move. Allow it to move, right? But when it comes in, it is a train hitting your body. You're like, oh,
and it got hot. My whole torso is hot.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. People have caught me doing this, trying to. It's like I'm letting my webs out suddenly because it's achy here. It's got to be stretched out. Like the energy has to move, and it's a knowing suddenly.
My heart is beating so hard, you guys. Like I literally feel like I just got up, went outside, sprint up the street, came back and sat down and tried to act like nothing was going on.
Yeah. 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 I find that so many people are having, the people who don't remember their dreams, just like Adila said. Yeah. We're all having those dreams. And my dreams, the water is a lavender opalescent, but it's coming from the sky.
Wow.
And it's coming from the southwest. You know, I'm not scared of it, but here it comes. And you can't deny that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
The last dream that I had, it was nighttime. Me and the boys and Shams were all in the ocean at night. We were just chilling, floating. You know how you just float on the waves? And there was a huge wave coming. And I literally annotated in the dream when I wrote it down. I said, but we weren't scared. We knew it was coming. We saw it coming. And we just stayed in the water. But the scene shifted and we got out of the water and we had little lemonade and drinks and stuff. And I don't know whether the wave, even though we saw it coming, I don't know whether it came or not. All I know is that we stayed in the water when it was approaching and nothing happened and we just, life went on, you see? So who knew?
Oh my gosh, Adila, we're having the same dream. I look up and it's there. Yeah, exactly. It's there. I'm not scared of it. And, you know, in the past with those QHHT readers saying the same thing, everyone's going to have the same kind of dreams. And some will be on the ground and helping people because they can't deal. And some people will just be frozen in suspension. Some people will just lay down and go to sleep. Some people will just feel really happy. And some people will just be like, oh, do you feel that? Oh, you know what I mean? And I was like, will I be prepared for what's coming? You know what I mean? Because I always had this sight of kind of a crack happening. And I'm here helping folks across this thing. It looked physical, but I now know from the fear, I'm helping them come over. Right from the fear. And it's not something I'm scary about, but my brain is quite dramatic. I like sci-fi movies, so I know that now. You know what I mean? That whatever my gifts are or offerings will come in handy at the right time. There's no rush, but you know, light workers, light warriors, a lot of us feel this rush. I gotta remember it all now. Because it's now. We all have that urgent feeling.
Yeah. And it's very important right now to be what you consciously are trying to be, because there's the energy is going to do what it does.
It's true.
But this is why I love me some Joe Dispenza. If you don't know Joe Dispenza, Google Joe Dispenza. And even on YouTube, there's a Joe Dispenza present moment meditation. Because when you become cognizant in each moment, you're basically allowing your higher self to take over. So you get to actually practice bypassing your brain when you do this exercise, because the energy is going to do what it does. It's there, it's doing what it's doing because it's necessary, but you don't have to respond in a way that is not calm. There's a way to still be freaking out, right? Physically, but be calm about it. But you've got to consciously bypass any thoughts that are gonna make you snowball into freak out.
Yeah. I hear people say, picture yourself kind of like a donut, kind of opening up and letting that pass through if you can. But I'm a person where it comes through, whoo, or it goes whoo, like this, you know? So I know it's for real, I think. I need to know and confirm. Whereas we're waking up to what is true, like your new heightened senses. A lot of us have to write them down. So we're like, yeah, that's official. Yeah, my team appears on the left in this year. Their team appears in the right. It's what we need to know, how energy shows up in our bodies. Otherwise, we're running to, we should run to the hospital if we have to. I'm not saying don't, but can you imagine if I was at the doctor every time my ears rang in the last 4 years?
Oh yeah, I went through that period of time where I was running to the doctor and all kind of medication because they quick to prescribe. Because my body started going through changes before my mind actually started waking up and I started learning about energy and all this stuff. My body preceded me.
Yeah. Straight up. Straight up.
So yeah, I know that feeling.
Yeah. And that's the thing when you and I, we talked about this before, I feel like when we started taking our healing practice classes and things, we caught on to it so fast, we knew we were remembering at that time. We've done this before, in another lifetime or whatever timeline, whatever. It's like you just got plugged in,
That part.
And I think that's how the awakened are downloading. It's a plug-in suddenly, and they need a timer so they can unplug and integrate, But it can be addictive. You just want to learn. Yeah.
I have one of your questions here that I think is an important question for us to address in the way that I typed it is not the way that you said it, but I'm gonna say it in this question form.
Okay.
Do you feel like it's too late to make the changes that you've been getting spiritual nudges about? Because we can ignore spiritual nudges for years.
I have to say, and I see this all the time because I find in Reiki with me, Reiki level 1 has so many people of color coming or colonized people coming to the point where they're like, is this normal? Is this okay? I've been doing this my whole life. It's a confirmation class. And they're reminded, oh, you can heal yourself. Because as you're a kid, you scrape yourself, and you put your hand on it. And we've been told somebody slapped our hand. So now we forgot to touch ourselves, right? Oh, you can do it. You can connect again and ground in your body, right? And so I don't think there's ever a time it's too late, but I think everyone's getting that clarion call to like now. The folks who heard it years ago are over it. They're like, yeah. You know what I mean? And some of us are like, oh, hey, we're here to welcome the newly awakened. Hi, watch the video and integrate as you wish. I don't think it's too late. My fear is, again, that they won't unplug themselves after they plug in. They got to take a break. Or maybe they will show us new techniques in integration because they got so much to integrate at the same time.
We're not putting out information. We expect you to innovate it.
Yeah.
You see?
It's going to look totally different than it was done in the past. Totally different.
Yeah.
Where the guru is done, we're not forsaking our earthly treasures and putting sheets on and begging for meals. I don't think Yeshua would want that. I don't think Buddha would want that. I think he'd like some of the gadgets we have now. You know what I mean?
There's nothing wrong with some of the advancements that we have made and the things that we've created, because these things were created.
Yes.
It's a creative process, whether a scientist did some math or a person picked up a paintbrush.
Yeah.
It was creative.
Yeah.
You see? So, but what I found myself guilty of this, and I know a lot of people are dealing with this right now, where because of how the 3D is, and there's there's confusion not just on a level of observation, but there is confusion on deeper levels. You
Yes,
know,
yes.
even organic matter is confused. Literally, we're getting to an
Yeah,
atomic level of confusion.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And you're still trying to operate out there, and you've got all of this action and all of this opposition going on, this push pull, this up down, this where's the truth? How do I navigate this? And you can get so caught up in trying to, oh, here they go.
I'm, I'm
They
like this.
said all it is that you are giving your authority away. You are the master, and you're choosing to be lazy and not be the master.
Yeah.
And what's so crazy is it's easy. And I've had this lesson recently. I've had to remind myself, as the master,
Mhm.
okay, it is easy because I co-created all of this. It's
Exactly.
literally like you forgot how to drive a car all of a sudden. And then you made it difficult thinking that you had to learn the same car you drive every morning. One day you decide, oh, I forgot how to do this. Now and you're stressed out and you're like, oh my God, I gotta learn, I gotta get to work. You're doing this in different areas of your life. All of a sudden you forget you're the master
Yeah,
and that you are that everything is okay.
yeah.
Because the moment you in every moment, everything is okay until you make it not okay.
Honestly, and it's easy. It's a scapegoat. It's so easy to go, it's their fault. If you had just done that and anticipated my every move, we wouldn't be here. You created this. And so you can create differently,
Mhm.
not better or worse, differently, you know? But the masters still wake up and go, I can cook. Oh yeah, it's tasty too. I love cooking and I cook all the time. Not all week, but all the time. But there are times when I'm in the kitchen, you receive some integration or a download, and you're like, I can make that. What did I use? What did I
Mhm.
use?
And I love what my mom just said. She said the truth cannot be taught, only realized.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. 100%. 100%. I totally agree. I mean, this is what we can do with this energy and this new knowledge is laugh about it because it's funny. I think
It
what I
is.
brought up to you too was I romanticize. I'm guilty of romanticizing, elevating into the new realms, thinking everything's gonna be positive. There might be some nasty beings already playing here, licking
Yeah.
the plastic fruit at the daycare, right?
Mhm.
You're like, those aren't the rules. I'm the one who's new here. So it's
Mhm.
intention. It's what do I choose to do in this new realm? You know?
Yes, you're responsible for, you go from feeling like, okay, I'm new here and I realize that I've been romanticizing some
Mhm.
things, but it's not because it's not true. It's
But
because you just showed up on the scene in order to create the reality that you've been romanticizing. You're responsible for maintaining and creating
yeah,
that reality that
yeah,
you've been thinking that you were
very
just
much
going
so.
to show up at.
Yeah, so true. So true. I feel like my romanticizing came from what I had integrated with the new age movement and spirituality, quote unquote.
Mhm.
You know, I think you do sip the Kool-Aid somehow.
Yeah,
You do. It's another system sometimes. When it's like it has to be done this way, and you must do this first, and somebody woke up like this. Somebody was born like this. What
yeah.
about this? And is it okay that I just woke up to this new wisdom? Do you know what I mean? And why am I
Yeah,
looking for validation? You know,
that part.
You know, do we need all the certificates? Not necessarily.
And
Yeah.
one of the things I want to tell everybody that's watching this right now
Yeah.
is it's very important that you understand that you find yourself in realities often, okay? So there's no need to sit in guilt or sit in regret or any negative energy for an extended period of time. Take your note, feel your feelings, and move forward.
Yes.
Because of the fact that we're new to multidimensional awareness, travel is not the same.
No.
It's not like if you walk from one end of the sidewalk to the other and you can see where you're going and you know that if you walk this way, you're going to get there. When you are dealing with the quantum, you find yourself, everything is operating as a realization.
Yeah.
You just find yourself places, and then you're supposed to respond to the reality that you find yourself in.
Yeah. And that's back to your point about time. Because everyone I know said on Tuesday, I got plenty of time. And then it was midnight on Friday. And you're like, wait, I didn't do all the things I had on my list or whatever. Right?
Yeah.
When it's time, you know, like you said, you find yourself there. And suddenly, that was me Friday midnight. I got to call the printer. I got to do this or whatever. Saturday morning, everything was sitting there for me to build my manuals and get ready for the class somehow. But there are weeks that are long years. And there are weeks that were 1.5 days, especially lately. And yeah, starting to see time totally differently and travel, like you're saying, because things that didn't seem like options before, as far as travel goes, sure, book me in, count me in, no problem. I'll help with that retreat. And I'm like, I've never been there. Never thought that that was possible for me, and that you could do it in this amount of time or whatever. I'm like, yep, sign me up. Because it was my belief that that wasn't for me. Right. And now it's like, oh yeah, you're going to be 50 this year. You're 50 all of next year. You've wanted to go to Kenya? Let me talk to a Kenyan friend. How long should I be there?
Exactly.
All right.
And there's tools that we have that we are not even aware that we have them. It's like saying, it's like looking for your glasses and they're on your face. We've all been there with that whole situation. I want to spit out some dates to look for intense energy loves, because I did prepare for this live. Okay. One big one that a lot of people are going to be very sensitive to is the time frame between February 22nd and 24th. Okay. Depending on your level of sensitivity, because energy does not start and stop, it just kind of merges into the next thing. Based on your level of sensitivity, you may start to feel it before that, okay? But just know that the personality of this particular energy is a serious healing energy, okay?
Serious. Say it again, serious.
Serious healing energy.
Healing. Thank you.
So you may be dealing with karma that has to do with healing, and this is healing on all levels. This is healing trauma. This is healing mental, physical, emotional, anything.
Yeah.
Okay. Spiritual. It could even be a past life healing situation that's not really like conscious, but something when it pertains to healing is going to be serious or get serious. So let's say you've been ignoring something, right? Because you feel like you didn't have the tools or you didn't have any choices to do anything about it. So you're like, screw it, I'm gonna just ignore it. And that's when you end up having a healing crisis. So you've got medical issues, but you don't have medical insurance, and you haven't tried to figure out some kind of, by your income clinic or asking questions or looking something up or trying to at least do something natural. You just said, screw it, I'm gonna just not make no changes, even though I'm aware of the issue that I have. This it's Saturn square Chiron that I'm talking about, that is going to literally grab you and shake you and be like, well, now you're gonna do something about it because I done told you. I done told you. It's literally like being reprimanded, because Saturn again does not take failure as an option. You're gonna get it. Whether you want to or not, you're gonna get it. So if you have to die for 3 minutes and come back, you're gonna get it. Okay.
Question. And you know my chart with my born during Saturn retrograde in Vedic astrology, Saturn in the second house for 19 years of discipline, teaching, learning. I haven't been able to sleep in since learning this information. So more discipline. Chiron, my Chiron is in Aries in Western tropical, and I seem to be very action oriented and very Mars like in that way. And I'm wondering how it'll show up. I'm like, I'm already too direct to some people as is.
Well, for you particularly with the placement of your actual Saturn, like there's your birth placements and then there's the actual transit. So what I would have to do is look at your chart and find out where Saturn is transiting.
Yeah.
Think about it, Josie. Think about it. What's your rising sign?
In Vedic, Sagittarius.
Okay, so it's in your third house. Well, no. Sagittarius, Capricorn. Yeah, it's in your third. Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius. It's in your third house. It's going to be transiting your third house. So you're going to have third house themes when it comes to this Saturn square Chiron. Again, that's familiarity, comfort zone, things like that. Cousins, people back in the day you went to school with, things like that.
Thank you for that.
But yeah, the 22nd through the 24th, y'all take the time you need. If you feel like you need to be alone, don't be afraid of your emotions just welling up for no reason and crying. I have had days over the past couple of weeks where I felt like that feeling, like if someone you love passed away and the funeral was about a month ago, and then you have that moment where you randomly just start crying.
Yeah.
That has happened to me, but I didn't even actually like cry. I just felt it welling up and then it would disappear. So believe me, there's a lot going on energetically, but if you take it too seriously and you don't use your tools, it will smack you around and have you looking crazy. Okay. Ask for time. Separate yourself when you need to, isolate yourself. Time in nature is going to be very important. Whether you're going to jump in the ocean or you're going to put a gallon of salt in your bathtub, just get it done. Okay. Burn your candles, wear your crystals, burn your incense, listen to your affirmations, and do this even when you're not having ascension symptoms. It has to be consistent every day to cover yourself for what may come. Do you see? So that it's not as intense and you can handle yourself, and you're able to also guide people through having compassion for you. It's hard when you're so sensitive and you're feeling all of these feelings and you feel like there's an earthquake inside of you to try to guide somebody through how to help you or tell somebody what you need. It's difficult because all you want to do is run away, hide, get away from me.
Under the covers.
That part. Okay. So that was a really important time period. So I hope y'all took note of that. Now, we got a lot of Aquarian and Capricorn energy happening right now. And you guys, I use Vedic astrology, so this is not going to line up with the tropical zodiac. We have a lot of Aquarian, the collective, okay, and Capricorn energy the serious authoritative management,
Rules,
building a
discipline.
solid foundation energy. So everybody in the collective is getting a dose of getting serious about a lot of things in their life and really asking themselves the hard questions. They're being forced into this energy of integrity where there was no integrity. And I'm talking about with yourself first. If you've been lying to yourself, Saturn ain't gonna let you keep lying to yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. Because when you lie to yourself, you lie to everybody around you by default. And you can believe what you want to believe. Take it or leave it. I'm not here to impress you. Okay. So just know that you're going to attract situations that are karmic. That literally force you to ask yourself, do I want this? Is this what I like? Is this good for me? Am I being my best? And how can I best contribute to the collective in a way that I can keep my integrity? You see, who can I build with? Who can I not build with?
Mm.
Do you see?
Yeah.
Am I being true to myself, or am I throwing myself under the bus trying to change for something that I'm not even sure whether I even want it or not? You know, because if you want something bad enough, you're going to do everything you need to do to get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it'll come really fast, I'm sensing. I wanted to ask, the resistance with this new energy, will it show up more in you than in the situation? You know how when spirit is like, this isn't for you, and there's major resistance, and if you push, the spirit will just get it out of your way. Will the resistance like show up in you where you just like, something just feels off, you know?
It's happening both ways. It just depends on your situation. So in spirit of Valentine's Day, if you're in a relationship, right? And again, you know that person is not the one.
Oh.
But you're in your comfort zone. You're saying to yourself, everybody has issues in relationships. It's not going to matter who I'm with. So I might as well deal with this person, even though I'm not fulfilled, blah, blah, blah. Right. You know, it's safe. Right. So you choose to be in a situation that's safe. But you know that person is just not it. What's going to happen is you're going to start to respond to that person differently.
Okay.
It's gonna start from you, and it's gonna bounce right out into the reality to where that person is gonna respond to you responding to them. And then it's gonna create situations and circumstances that cause the tower moment, that cause Pluto to come in and do its thing.
Okay. Yeah. Towers all around.
Oh, yes. And again, there is no comfort zone anymore. The comfort zone is gone. Just imagine if you woke up tomorrow and you were 75% less matter than you're used to being, and gravity was about, 65% less. You would be lighter, you would be floating. How can you get used to that? You need to start imagining outrageous situations. How would you still be able to go to work with this reality now, this new thing? Because this is how it literally will feel and be. How are you still going to be able to function in a changing reality that is literally changing on an atomic level? You can't be like, oh, well, I'm gonna, now that this has happened to me, I'm just not gonna show up.
That's making so much sense, because it's happening in the body. Why are we thinking it's not going to happen in our environment?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's totally okay to see a building there one day and then it disappeared and then it came back. These things are normal for the time that we're in. Reality is fluid.
Yeah.
And there are things popping in and out of existence. There's a lot of portals open. There's a lot of beings coming and going. Okay. you gotta kind of be okay with it.
Yep.
However, you need to figure out how to be okay with it.
I mean, the phones are catching it. The
Mhm.
the timeline shifts where your book title literally switches when you go into this room, or the words just morph and change. We're seeing a lot of that. Things in the sky, of course, but things in front of you.
Mhm.
That's crazy, where you see it, just a dog just sitting there and not breathing, just still.
Yeah.
Yeah, get used to it. I wrote down buildings disappearing.
That part. That part. And guess what? Yeah, guess what the physical representation of all of what I just explained is.
What's that?
As of today, the placement of Jupiter, which is an outer planet, so it's not going to leave anytime soon.
Right.
Jupiter in Pisces, the
Well,
day sign that sits at the 12th house. You see what I mean?
yeah,
That rules illusion, that rules smoke and mirrors. You see what I mean? That rules magic, that
yeah.
rules all of the things intangible.
We were
Okay.
just talking about Pisces energy when we got information when there were Pisces transits. Fauci said we don't need masks, and every leader was like, just 2 weeks, we'll be out of this every time. And then they said 12 weeks. Well, in Canada, in Ontario, hairdressers were home for 7 months. We had to sneak around, and there was up to $100,000 fine or a year in jail if you got caught doing a haircut. But these leaders had their haircut in someone's garage. But it was always that information came out during Pisces transits. That's what helped me learn and understand Pisces transits. So you're saying Jupiter's in Pisces. Did that happen this week where we both were like, that just happened?
No, Jupiter's at 14 degrees right now.
Okay.
So it moved into Pisces sometime in January, I believe.
Okay.
The end of December, early January is when that happened. But just know that you got all of this seriousness and all of this concrete evidence coming out due to the Capricorn energy. Right. And then you've got the theme being the collective with the Aquarius energy. And of course, and I said this in one of my other videos, go watch the other ones. I said it's going to be a lot of talk about extraterrestrials, ETs, yes. But Aquarius is ET energy. It's technology energy. It's the visionary energy, the future. Okay. And then you've got Jupiter in Pisces in the background, sprinkling pixie dust on everything.
I put magic and delusion. Or just extra imagination on it. Yeah.
Yeah. So don't take being out of your mind, because you're not out of your mind.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't take it personal, even if other people think that you're nuts. Don't even want them to understand you, because that's where you hurt yourself. Don't worry about them understanding you. Don't try anything. Just be the best you that you can be in each moment, and communicate clearly when you need time away, when you need help, when you need something. Cry when you feel like you gotta cry. Don't care how it looks. Step into that 5-year-old self on the playground that runs through its emotions like the 5 stages of grief every 2 seconds, but they can still get up and start playing again. Because that's your safe place, is in the present moment.
Okay.
Learn to run through these emotions in the present moment. I was sad and I was bawling 2 seconds ago, and now I'm ready to go and play football, or now I'm ready to go and do some hair, things like that.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's not a big deal. I don't even need to think about it past the event.
We're going to be worn out.
At least we'll sleep good, you know, and speaking as a narrator.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
Thank you for that.
What about the moon's influence on the ascension process? Well, this latest full moon really it did this to us.
Yeah. And this being the biggest mic drop ever. you know, so much shocking things and
Yeah.
feelings. And I mean, again, I'm in Toronto and it came out not last night. Yeah, not last night, the night before, that our mayor that was locking us down for 7 months was having an affair with a 31-year-old.
Yeah.
Resigned, and everyone's like, what?
So the moon is going to do its thing. And again, you know, I'm here for everybody. So there is the physical moon that we see in the sky, and then there's the actual moon, Pluto.
That is in its, and the US is in its Pluto return.
You see what I
So
mean?
everyone who's connected to the US is
So,
having
you know,
Pluto return.
Google that if you don't understand what I meant. Okay. But yeah, the moon is very highly effective. Just like we have a central sun and a physical sun, we have a physical moon and an actual moon that's really doing the thing. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not a scientist. I'm not here again for to impress you. So you just go Google some things and you'll see what I'm talking about. But yeah, so Pisces, Capricorn, and Aquarian energy is very dominant right now. There's a serious push for the collective to have a really deep and concrete and permanent healing. Okay. And a lot of it, of course, is through spirit.
Yeah.
So right now, you know, that mental thing where I got to get out there and hustle and I got to do this and I got that gotta do thing is not going to work for you as well as it used to. Get with your spiritual team and follow your energy.
Yeah. Would you say that the people who are now saying, I've worked so hard and it's still not healed, this is probably that time when they wrap it up? Would you say that?
And you know what's so interesting, because I've heard that before. I've done this, I've done that, and I still haven't healed. Well, just like in meditation, just like when you want something to happen when you go in to meditate, you had an expectation.
Yes.
You did the thing. Okay. There's a difference between an intention and an expectation.
Yeah. Yeah. Very
because
true.
if you intend to heal, then what you're going to end up doing is responding to a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But when you expect something, you're not in a position to respond. You're in a position to receive. You see what I mean? So when you say, I've done all of these things and I have yet to heal, a main reason why you have yet to see the results of your healing process is because you have an expectation
of how it looks,
of how it's supposed to look. A lot of you have healed.
Yeah.
You understand that everything that you created belongs to you. So all you're doing is changing the energy to serve you now that it's not serving you.
Yeah.
Alchemy, transmutation.
Yeah.
So anything you feel like you need to heal belongs to you, and it needs love and integration, and it needs a new job to do. Obviously, what can you do with this?
I can see, like, just seeing those three signs: Pisces, Capricorn, Aquarius, Aquarian energy. It feels like people are going to be sick of their own stories.
Yes.
And they're changing them,
And did you say something about ancient energy earlier, or was that in the chat?
I think that was in the chat, I think.
Oh, well, whoever said something about ancient energy was right on point, because the elders are on deck. Ancient energy is here, ancestral, elders that are extraterrestrial. There is lots of ancient, mature energy that has a strong hand in this as well, you guys. So that's confirmation for some people who have been getting those synchronicities, because my spirit was just like, say something about that.
Yeah. Beautiful.
So yeah, I think we should wrap this up though.
Yeah, because we could talk like this all day, but we need
sitting
water.
at 104 minutes. I'm just saying. But love to you all. Shash Universe is Shashu's YouTube channel. And it's Shash Universe on Instagram as well, right?
I do more things on Instagram. I'm trying to put more up with YouTube, and that's why I reached out to you, because I needed that little push.
Yeah, we all do.
Yeah. And Josie and I tend to hold hands to do that sometimes.
We hold hands so we can jump.
Yes.
But yeah, that's where you can find her. She does second Reiki. Get a session with her. I love the energy. It's awesome. She's like liquid cool fire. It's interesting.
I'm about to take the master teacher course at the end of this year. I'm really excited. She's chosen 3 students, and I'm really excited about that, to be teaching it.
No, I'm good. Thank you. my kid just came in here and offered me the last cereal because he's so sweet.
Oh, I love that.
But
thanks so much, Josie. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for giving me something to respond to. I love all of you guys. Love to you, prosperity, grounding, divine light of the highest in the now. We will see you soon. Y'all take care.
Bye.
Wait, I'm looking for it. Bear with me. I don't know how to disconnect. I don't know how to do it. Wait, nope. Maybe. Nope, I don't want to do that. Did y'all see that? Oh man, I don't know how to leave y'all. You know that, right?
You leave the Zoom meeting?
Oh wow, this is fun. Oh man. It doesn't let, wow, how did I get here? See, here we go. The beginning is the end, because we were doing this in the end too.
No silverfish, no silverfish.
Nope, not at all. I'm about to toss this room. I got a lot of stuff stored under my bed, but it's stored. It's not just everywhere. But we gonna fix all of that. I don't understand. I guess I have to just end the Zoom itself.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. So love to you guys. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Where is it? Stop.